very warm welcome to all the students. Today we are going to discuss the third topic of unit number 3 in the subject Investment Analysis and Portfolio Management. The name of the topic is Bond Return and Valuation. In this particular topic, we will be going to discuss that how the bonds can be evaluated for investment decision purposes. Now let's just begin the discussion again by the help of a query. Mr. Ratan is not in favor of equity investments because of the volatility of equity prices. He believes debt instruments are safer than equity stocks. Mr. Shah, a stockbroker, tells him that the debt instruments also have risk features. He informs Mr. Ratan that maturity period and the duration are different concepts. Mr. Ratan is confused. As a passive investor, he is worried. He wants to know what are the risks that are associated with bonds, what is meant by duration, and what strategies should he adopt. So in order to answer all these questions, Mr. Ratan has to know that interest rate risk and default risk are the most significant risks in the bond portfolio. Duration is different from maturity period. This topic will discuss the concept of duration, and for the passive investor, a passive buy and hold strategy or a quasi-passive strategy is most appropriate. For this, he must select a technique that will suit him. Debt instruments are the cherished conduit for the investors. An assured return and high interest rate are responsible for the preference of bonds over equities. So in this chapter, therefore, we are going to discuss the basic concepts of bond and how bonds should be evaluated for investment decision purposes. First of all, let's just discuss what a bond is. A bond is a contract that requires the borrower to pay an interest income to the lender. He resembles the promissory note and is issued by governments or corporations. The par value of the bond indicates the face value of the bond, that is, the value stated on the bond paper. Generally, the face value of the bond are 1,000, 2,000 or 5,000 rupees and the likes. Most bonds offer fixed interest payments till their maturity. This specific rate of interest is known as the coupon rate. Coupons are paid quarterly, semi-annually and annually. At the end of the maturity period, the value is repaid. Now when we are talking about bond, it is very much crucial to discuss about bond risk as well. The stocks are considered to be risky, but bonds are not. This is not absolutely correct. The bonds do carry risks, but the nature and the types of risk may be different. The risks that are related to the interest rate, default, marketability and callability in a risk profile of the bond investments. So in the bond, there are different types of risk, namely interest rate risk, default risk, marketability risk, and callability risk. Let's just discuss time value concept when we're talking about bond valuation. The time value concept of money is that a rupee received today is more valuable than a rupee received tomorrow. An investor will postpone current consumption only if he can add to future consumption opportunities through investment. Individuals generally prefer current consumption to future consumption. If there is inflation in the economy, a rupee today will represent more purchasing power than a rupee at a future date. Interest is the rent paid to the owners to part with their money. The interest that the borrower pays to the lenders causes the money to have a future value that is different from its present value. The time value of money makes the rupee invested today grow more than a rupee in the future. To quantify this concept mathematically, compounding and discounting principles are used. The one period future time value of money is given by the equation future value is equal to present value 1 plus interest rate. If the deposited money is allowed to accumulate for more than one period, the period exponent is added to the previous equation. And therefore, the equation becomes future value is equal to present value 1 plus interest rate whole t. Moving further, when we talk about present value, the present value of money can be found simply by reversing the earlier equation of future value. that is present value multiplied by 1 plus interest rate is equal to future value. So present value will be equal to future value divided by 1 plus interest rate. So here the discounting principle is used. Now when we talk about the bond valuation as a concept, we use time value money into consideration for bond valuation. And to make the calculation easier, the present value interest factor and present value interest factor of annuity is used in bond valuation. Bond returns. When an investor buys a bond and sells it after holding it for a while, the rate of return in that holding period is called holding period return. It is denoted by the formula price gain or loss during the holding period plus the coupon interest rate, if any, divided by price at the beginning of the holding period. The holding period rate of return is also called one period rate of return. This return can be calculated daily, monthly or annually. If the fall in the bond price is greater than the coupon payment, the holding period return will be negative. The next concept over here is current yield. The current yield is the coupon payment as a percentage of current market price, and therefore it is given by the formula annual coupon payment divided by the current market price. With this measure, investors can know the rate of cash flow from their investments every year. The current yield differs from the coupon rate, since the market price differs from the face value of the bond. When the bond's face value and the market price are the same, the coupon rate and the current yield would be the same. For example, when a coupon payment is 8% for rupees 100 bond with the same market price, the current yield is 8%. If the current market price is 80, then the current yield would be 10%. The next concept to discuss in bond valuation is yield to maturity, which is also known as YTM. The concept of YTM is one of the most widely used tools in bond investment management. YTM is a single discount factor that makes the present value of future cash flows from a bond equal to the current price of the bond. Intuitively, YTM is the rate of return that an investor can expect to earn if the bond is held till maturity. When YTM is calculated on a certain assumptions, there should not be any default. The coupon and principal amount should be paid as per the schedule. The investor has to hold the bond till maturity. And the third one is all coupon payments should be reinvested immediately at the same interest rate as the YTM of the bond. Understanding this is crucial for better investment decisions. And therefore, the model which is used for calculating YTM is Y is equal to C plus P or D divided by years to maturity whole divided by P0 plus F divided by 2, where Y is yield to maturity, C is the coupon interest, P or D is premium or discount, P0 is present value, F is the face value of the bond. The next is bond value theorems. The value of the bonds depends upon three factors, namely the coupon rate, years to maturity, and the expected yield to maturity or the required rate of return. On the basis of this, the bond value theorems have been evolved in bond valuation. There are 5 theorems in totality. Theorem 1 states that if the market price of the bond increases, then the yield would decline and vice versa. Even though bonds are of the same maturity and bear the same coupon rate, the difference in the market price leads to a difference in yields. The bonds with low price have high yield because with the less money, more return is earned. Theorem number 2. If the bond's yield remains the same over its life, the discount or premium depends upon the maturity period. This means a bond with a short term to maturity sells at a lower discount than another bond with a long term to maturity. Theorem 3 states if bond yield remains constant over its life, the discount or premium amount will decrease at an increasing rate as its life gets shorter. Now, theorem number 4 states a rise in the bond's price for a decline in the bond's yield is greater than the fall in the bond's price for a rise in the yield. And the last theory states the change in the price will be less for a percentage change in the bond's yield if its coupon rate is higher. Now these were some of the Bond's theorem which has also been explained and proven with the help of the examples which can be seen practically when we talk about bond valuation in the stock market and in investment decisions. Next is bond duration, which is another very much important concept when we are talking about bond valuation. Now the duration here measures the time structure of a bond and the bond's interest rate risk. The time structure of the investment in bond is expressed in two ways. The common way is to state how many years an investor has to wait until the bond matures and the principal money is paid back. This is known as asset time to maturity or its year to maturity. The other way is to measure the average time taken for all the interest coupons and the principal to be recovered. This is called Macaulay's duration. Duration is defined as the weighted average of periods to maturity, with the weights being the present values of the cash flow in each period. And therefore, the formula for calculating duration is D is equal to summation PV multiplied by CT divided by P0 multiplied by T, where D is duration, C is cash flow, R is current yield to maturity, T is number of years, PV multiplied by CT is present value of the cash flow, and P0 is equal to sum of the present values of the cash flow. And the last concept in bond valuation is immunization. Immunization is a technique that follows the bond portfolio holder to be relatively certain that the promised stream of cash flows. The bond interest rate risk arises from changes in the market interest rate. The market rate affects the coupon rate and the price of the bond. In the immunization process, the coupon rate risk and the price risk can be made to offset each other. Whenever there is an increase in the market interest rate, the price of the bond falls. At the same time, the newly issued bonds offer higher interest rate. The coupon can be reinvested in the bonds, offering higher interest rate, and the losses that occur due to the fall in the price of the bond that can be offset, and the portfolio is said to be immunized. Now the process of immunization is the bond portfolio manager or the investor has to calculate the duration of the promised outflow of the funds and invest in a portfolio where the bonds have identical durations. The bond portfolio duration is the weighted average of the durations of the individual bonds in the portfolio. So the bond manager can offset the interest rate and the price risk by matching the outflow duration with cash inflow duration from the bond investment. And therefore the portfolio of money to be invested between the different types of bonds also can be found by using the following equation, which is investment outflow is equal to x1 multiplied by duration of bond 1 plus x2 multiplied by duration of bond 2, where x1 and x2 refer to the proportions of investments in bond 1 and 2. So basically, with the discussion, overall discussion in this particular topic, we have studied about bond valuation and how the bond valuation, it impacts the investment decision of the investors. So in this particular chapter, we talked about the time value concept on which bond valuation is completely based upon. We also learned about the different theorems of bond theory, how to calculate YTM, how to calculate the current yield, and also about duration, which is a most crucial another perspective of bond valuation by the investors. Thank you.